What is going on, everybody? We're here. We're live Monday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on the RK Outpost live channel. This is not something that happens very often, really ever. But I feel like we need to talk about something today. And it has to do with the Star Wars Expanded Universe convention, known as LegendsCon 2. Now, as you know, last year, 2 years ago, whatever it was, there was a LegendsCon that had a little bit of controversy surrounding it. It had some people show up, had some people not show up, but there was a split. You had one group that was going to do Legends Expo, the next group that was going to continue on with LegendsCon 2, this time in Texas, and this time it was going to be bigger and better than ever, and all different things. And this may be one of the first times you're hearing about it from me. And now you might be saying, well, Ryan, you talk about Star Wars a lot. You mentioned the Star Wars Expanded Universe. You seem like a big Star Wars Expanded Universe fan. You're always advocating it. You're always arguing with people about it. Hell, you are on a Star Wars Expanded Universe podcast with Matt Wilkins every month, even though maybe no one watches it. Why haven't you talked about LegendsCon very much? Well, it's because there may or may not have been a little more going on behind the scenes than I really wanted to reveal. But I do have a guest, someone who, listen, I come on his channel all the time, so the least he could do is come over to my channel every once in a while, and that is Matt Wilkins. What's up, Matt? How you doing?
Well, thanks, but you do the guest honor of coming onto my channel a lot now, so thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
No problem. I know you're kind of in the middle of your day and all that stuff is going on. But man, oh man, just a couple days after we release a more civilized Aged and talk about LegendsCon, we've invited these guys on our podcast to talk about it for 6, 7, 8 months straight. But somehow they never wanted to show up. They never wanted to show up on someone's channel like yourself, who's been dedicated to the Star Wars Expanded Universe for years. And look, before this convention got canceled, I didn't want to make any waves. I didn't want to call them out. I didn't want to try to ruin something for them. I wouldn't want to do anything like that because, quite frankly, I wanted this to be a success. I wanted it to be huge. I wanted it to be awesome. I wanted the Star Wars Expanded Universe fans to get to celebrate and meet these authors and all of that stuff. Now that that's no longer happening, I feel okay talking about this.
But yeah, and you've been above fair with this whole thing, I want to say. And that's the thing that just angered me about it. So you've been very cool about it. And I mean, we're going to get into this, I'm sure, but just this whole failure could have been avoided. And that's what's aggravating to me. So
yes. And to even set this up a little bit before we just, I guess, hop right into some of these things. For people that don't know, and I don't blame you if you don't know, because no one was talking about this really, including myself to a certain extent. LegendsCon 2, so Legends Consortium. LegendsCon 2 was supposed to happen in March of this year in Arlington, in Texas. And honestly, they had a awesome group of authors and other people, Shannon McRandall, model for Mara Jade, stuff like that. They had an awesome group of people. Troy Denning, Chris Avallone from KOTOR 2, Michael Stackpole, Kevin J. Anderson, Barbara Hambley, right? A lot of people that I would have loved to meet and talk to about Star Wars, right? Because it would have been so cool to meet them, listen to their stories about how they created and help be a part of this universe, things like that. Well, unfortunately, now if you go to this page, you're going to see the same thing that's on their Twitter right now. We at Legends Consortium LLC are sorry to inform you that LegendsCon 2 has been canceled. We tried our best, but unfortunately, not enough tickets were sold to make this event happen. Thank you all for your support over the years, and take care. Legends Consortium. Now, they didn't sell enough tickets, right? They didn't sell enough tickets to this event. I wonder why. I wonder why you didn't sell enough tickets to the event when you were scared to talk to people who could have helped you sell tickets. All right. And I want to be I want to be fair to the people that are there. From what I've heard, and just to be clear too, so none of these people get all pissy at Matt or anything like that. Like, there are other people within this group, within your group, that talk about other things. Okay? So before anybody gets pissy at Matt for revealing something or talking about something, I just want to make that very clear to everyone at LegendsCon.
Well,
from what I've heard, the vast majority of people that are working there are cool. And all they care about is if you're a Star Wars Expanded Universe fan, that's it. However, there might be one or two people that have a big problem with some people, myself included. Go ahead, Matt.
Yes, and this didn't take rocket science to figure out, because Ryan is correct. Several times we invited them on. They wanted to come on. I wanted to promote them. A More Civilized Age is the podcast we do, and it is the most watched on the channel, obviously. But I said, I'm gonna put you on the flagship one here. You're getting top tier. You're getting the most exposure. That's what you're gonna do. They're great. But then the day of or the day before, they'd always crawfish, and then I'd come to Ryan and Meg empty-handed and go, I don't know, we'll talk about something else. They just couldn't show, or they didn't want to show. And then it hit me the one time that it was the second time I was, spidey sense tingling. But the time that was really telling was when someone had logged into the lobby. I was about to let them go. They saw you, immediately disappeared, never responded to my text. I said, hey, what happened? Are you still there? Are you coming back on? Hey, where are you? We're waiting. Nothing. And that's when I knew, okay, there's a directive out there not to speak to Ryan. And that ticks me off, because the fandom is there's a lot of people who love the expanded universe. If you're just trying to say, well, I don't want to talk to anyone I don't agree with, well, you're just automatically looking at differences, and you're not looking at what we have in common. You want to be open to everyone. What Michael Jordan said, even Republicans buy shoes. Smart quote, right? Because you got to cater to both. And the thing is like they didn't want to be associated. I say they, like I said, I do agree. I think it was a small minority, but vocal minority, that didn't want you and a few other people, very short list of YouTubers that would have been big, would have helped spread the news, would have helped sold tickets, but I don't like them. Okay, I don't care if you don't like that person. If they want to promote your event and everything, you let them go ahead. Having someone else talk about your event doesn't mean that you're endorsing that person. I mean, get out of here. So, the thing is, it's just, it was just such ridiculous and I hate that pettiness, that pridefulness is what led to this downfall. Now, you could hear, and it wouldn't surprise me later on if they start blaming another convention called the Legends Expo, another one that's going to cancel. It's going to be a surprise to everyone but me, I guess, because everyone says, oh, Matt, you're being too hard on them. But this Legends Expo did try to throw some roadblocks on LegendsCon. I love how there's two EU conventions both fighting each other, trying to eliminate the other one. That's weird. But I'm sure that they're going to try to pass the buck to Legends Expo. Legends Expo did nothing. Yes, they tried to block them from getting guests. They tried to talk to some of the guests before LegendsCon did and said, don't go to them, they're fake or whatever. And it didn't stop them, because as you just showed, they had a great list. Great list. You and I have spoken about this several times, how excited we were about the guest involved, how it was going to be cool to get some autographs, ask some awesome questions, get to know it. Folks who don't know the expanded universe are watching. It's a real, if you're unhappy with the way Disney is telling the story, Ryan has said this on his channel a million times, check out the expanded universe. It's a much better story, and it does the characters justice. But if you are, so we both wanted this to happen, right?
Yes. And here's the thing. I wanted it to happen and be successful regardless of whether or not they wanted me there. Right?
Yeah.
I wanted it to be successful regardless. I've been asking you for months and months and months to have those people talk to me.
Yes.
Right? To have them talk to me so we can talk. And so make sure, hey, are you cool with it? I will promote it. And listen, I'm not going to promise you that I am going to get 1,000 people there. That'd be crazy. Right. No. But if you had given me a couple months to do this, I definitely could have got some people there. I could have got some tickets sold, could have done this. And would it have been difficult considering, guess what? I've got MegaCon in this week. I've got MegaCon in a couple days. And then in April, I'm doing a big meetup in Vegas with a bunch of people. Would that be tough maybe for some people to swing a trip to Texas in between there? Yeah, probably would be. But you know what? If you had given me a couple months, 6 months, We absolutely could have got to where they needed to be to
Yes.
make this thing a success.
We could have gotten a couple more hundred, and that's probably all. And that is probably exactly what all they needed. And the thing is, though, that I don't know if they're, again, all we know is it's canceled. You know, we haven't heard a reason why or anything is, but I hope they're not going to try to throw blame on someone like Legends Expo who really did nothing to stop them. They said they poisoned, I heard a long time ago, they were poisoning the well with us and our relationship with Lucasfilm. But as we discussed on the last podcast, they had a guy from Lucasfilm who's going to be their MC. So mission failed there. So they better not, and this is the thing, and I love a lot of the people on the board there, but they better not try to pass the buck to some, boogeyman like Legends. They're the reason. They really hindered it. No, you cut yourself off at the kneecaps by letting a minority of voices voice their opinion about who they don't want supporting it. Well, dude, you got to bring the content out there. You got to spread it to as many people as you can and get it out there. Not only you, but I was also thinking, why not go on the Dune forums? Dune Prophecy is based off of Kevin J. Anderson's novels. So any Dune people may want to go see Dune. We talked about this just earlier, but Troy Denning does Halo. Get the Halo people involved. Get the Pathfinder people involved for staff. I mean, they have multiple things. Get people involved with this, spread it out. So you could say lack of experience, no one knew much about marketing, but then cutting out some of the biggest fans of it just because you don't agree with their channel, that wrong. I don't care who it is who wanted to come to LegendsCon. If I don't agree with them politically or something else, I don't care. We're talking about expanded universe here, and that's all I care about.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. Guess what? Michael Stackpole and Troy Denny, they don't think the same way politically as I do. I don't care because they wrote stories in the Star Wars Expanded Universe that I love that have nothing to do with the way that they're voting, and I wouldn't go up and talk to them about that. And here's the like I feel like I'm despite my reputation, maybe I feel like legitimately I'm pretty fair when it comes to a lot of this and very understanding. I know that there's a lot of people out there that don't like me. I know that there's a lot of people out there that despise me about this or I get it. I get that I'm controversial. As a result, I was more than willing to do whatever, whether that was mention it on something, anything to help make it successful. I wasn't I wouldn't have asked for a pass. I literally just wanted to go as a fan. The same with everybody else. I wouldn't have wanted to speak anything. I wouldn't have wanted to be on their page. All I wanted to do was talk to these people and make sure they were okay with me promoting it because I knew that they fucking weren't. I knew that they fucking weren't okay with me promoting it. And I never once tried to sabotage it or down talk it or anything like that. Whenever anyone asked me about it or whenever it got brought up, I said, I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's awesome. Because that's truly all I care about at the end of the day. And
anyone who knows me is not going to believe this, but you're more fair with them and how they treated you than I am. I'm more angry about it. You've been very fair because you said, hey, I get it. I understand. If they don't want me, okay, I'm controversial. I get it. And I told you when you said that to me that night, I just got more angry at LegendsCon, the people who are just, because it's so ridiculous. And we live in this world where everything is just hyper, everyone's hypersensitive to things. And it's not like you're going to go in there, going up to the first person, you arguing with Troy Denning.
No,
hey, Troy, why'd you block me on Twitter? No one's saying that. No one cares. We're going to ask questions. We're getting them to sign books. That's what we're going to do because that's what people do in real life. But this hypersensitive nation, like, oh, no, we can't have anyone that's outside of our thought bubble. I cannot stand that they only look at differences. It's just, and not about what we have in common.
And it's really infuriating because the reason that this has failed ultimately wasn't because they couldn't book good enough guests. They have a great guest lineup, obviously. It was because it wasn't marketed to enough people and it wasn't marketed the right way. And the idea that a week before you announce everybody we're canceling because we don't have tickets, you just announced Michael Stackpole. You announced 4 days before, oh, we have this MC who's, by the way, currently writing Disney Star Wars encyclopedias, right? And whatever, dude might be cool, might be a great guy. I don't know, right? But his podcast, like he's got a podcast or whatever that's prominently featured on like their on their whatever their promotion is. bro.
Yeah, he's tied to the hip with Lucasfilm. But the thing is, though, now that I've had a moment to think about it, because we discussed this on the last podcast. We did see that X picture of his bookshelf, and he had some Legends EU content
stuff up there. Yeah,
and you know what? When I thought about it, it's like, man, that's perfect, because now we have someone who knows Lucasfilm who can say, hey, these guys aren't crazy. These guys just love the expanded universe. Maybe we should allow this storyline to continue. Maybe we shouldn't be so hard on these people, because they've been outright just awful about not making sure that no new content comes out, no wins for the Legend. I mean, we did put a billboard up in their front yard for about 6 months back in 2020. And then before that again, if you don't know, we did billboards and we put them right in front of the main driving path of how Lucasfilm employees go to work. And thankfully, it was because the pandemic hit is why we got those 3 extra months. But in their front lawn, I mean, just right as they turn off the highway, there's that Legends. We want more Legends. I just loved it. I loved every minute of that. And the fans, and that was 2 billboards the second time they funded. So people want new stories continued. They just continue. And I guess that's what pissed them off, because no one's buying a billboard saying we want more Acolyte. I'll tell you that. A billboard by fans.
Not true, Matt. They literally did, just so you know.
They did? They got a billboard?
So that was a bad example for you to mention right there.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't even know. I don't even keep up with new canon, so.
That's okay. And that's why I love you, because you don't keep up with new canon. But it just pisses me off that the entire thing is a failure, and it didn't have to be that way. From my understanding of all the people behind LegendsCon, the vast majority of them do not care whether they like me, whether they don't care, right? And just as we see all too often, it might be 1 or 2 people that have a problem, and we're essentially given a mandate not to fucking talk to me, not to come on our podcast to promote their shit. And that it's so stupid and delusional and short-sighted. The Star Wars Expanded Universe fandom is not like, oh, just millions and millions and millions of people waiting in the wings. No, it's not that. It is a niche group of fans. We all understand that. And if you don't think that, then you're delusional. So you need people on board. And just for the record, it wasn't just someone like me that they thought was like problematic and didn't want talking about it. Like, can we talk about our buddy who's been on our More Civilization?
Yeah, okay, we'll talk about. I mean, let's go. We're on Archie Outpost here. Let's go.
Apparently, even Eckhart's Ladder they thought was too problematic because he might talk negatively about some things sometimes. Look, this is a perfect example. Eckhart's Ladder is about as politically different from me as you can possibly get. Okay. Yep. Right now, I'm in the United States with Trump. We're putting tariffs on Canada. His country's fighting back against our country. All this stuff's happening right now. And guess what? None of that shit matters. We talk about Star Wars Expanded Universe shit all the fucking time. I think, like, regardless of if I agree with his opinion on this Disney show or on that Expanded Universe story or whatever, the dude is a massive Star Wars fan. And if you might hate some of his takes, I believe that they're genuine. Does he like to be overly negative about things? No, not necessarily. It's just kind of his personality. But he is genuine with what he says, even if I don't agree with his political opinions or anything like that. The idea that they found him, like me, is one thing. The idea that they didn't want him, that they didn't want to reach out to him because some people may not like that he said something, that is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
the dude is a Star Wars Expanded Universe fan. He absolutely is, and it's insane that they wouldn't talk about that, or that they wouldn't want to reach out to him to ask about it either. And he doesn't even know this, I don't think. I don't know if he has any idea about it. But
and to Eckhart Ladder's defense, when Justin came on both times, I think he came on twice. He was so cool. Talked about he knew you. I think at first you're like, he's coming. I said, yeah. He went, do I need to be on there? He kind of did. And it was fine. We talked, we had a great time. We talked afterwards. I remember the first time, and he was very cordial and polite, and that's all you need. And that is a perfect example of what you should be thinking. We can all talk all talk about something we have in common. And that they wanted to separate different people because you have to think, and that's a good example because Justin is opposite of you in a lot of other things.
He's politically opposite of me,
100%. But he's put in the same bucket as you in this one because they don't like him either for whatever reason.
Because he talked negatively about a couple things that maybe they liked.
Yeah.
And I don't know what all the motivations were. And there could have been many failures beyond just the marketing. It could have been they got too big of a convention space. Could have been a lot of different things. And I get it. Look, there's a reason why we, like me, like Geeks and Gamers, or why we haven't put on a convention by ourselves, because there's so much going on. It's tough to guess who's going to be there. There's a lot of expenses required. It's a complicated thing, right?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to do. There's a lot of logistics involved, like you said, on the scoping, on the bill, getting the venue set up, to the insurance that you have to buy. You have to buy insurance for those type of events, because it's not going to be provided by the venue. You've got all these other extra expenses that not everyone sees, that get tagged along with the rest of with the guests, accommodations, and whatnot. So it is a huge undertaking, and it's hard to pull one off. And hey, don't get me wrong, the way they had things rolling, I thought they were on the ball. And
it would seem like it when you keep announcing guests, when you got 18 people coming and all this. It certainly seems like it's going. And I feel really bad, and I feel a little bit guilty as well, sitting here waiting for months and months and months to try to talk to these fucking people, to try to figure out whether I should promote it or not, while other people are buying hotels, they're buying flights, they're doing all of this stuff. I feel really shitty for the fans out there who don't care about any of this nonsense, who don't care if this creator or that creator is going to be there. They're just going there because they're fans of the Star Wars Expanded Universe. I feel really bad that some of those people are now out of money because of the flights they bought, the hotels they bought. It really pisses me off, to be honest with you.
I just spoke to someone who is out, I think, $1,400. And of course, these plane tickets are the real reason. First off, you're not getting refunded for the tickets. That's money lost. It already said no.
For real? Wait, for the plane or for LegendsCon?
Yeah, LegendsCon tickets are non-refundable.
Is that for real?
Yeah. So it was already billed that way, but the thing was, we were so confident it was going to happen, right? Because they kept, like you said, they kept announcing guests, but we're going bankrupt. So that's unfortunate. What other things unfortunate is people are losing money, for these tickets. 700, 1,000, 800, whatever it was. And the thing is, a lot of these people are telling me, what am I going to do with the plane ticket? I was going to go to LegendsCon, something I want to see. I don't want to go anywhere else. Now I'm pigeonholed to going somewhere else. And that's the thing. There's so many people who are out this money, and there's a lot of disappointment, a lot of anger. Everyone, and I do hate this, but it's the nature of the beast, but you canceled 6 weeks before. So you're going to have to take your medicine now. And there's going to be a lot of fans that are going to be irate. And I get it. They're out tons of money. I'm out a little bit of money. But Kyle, who owns the LegendsCon, he's out lots of money. But the thing is, though,
I do look, Kyle. I never talked to him, never spoken to him. Would have loved to for months and months and months, but never spoken to the guy. I've heard great things about him. I don't think he has any problem with me. I know he has poured a lot of money into this entire thing. I know
he poured a lot of money into it. So everyone lost money. I feel bad for that. But the thing is, LegendsCon, and I just said this on one of my videos I just recently posted a few hours ago, it's gone now. It's dead. It can't come back. If it came back, no one would trust it. They've already lost tons of money. They're not going to trust you unless opening day they see that the show's going on. Then they would have regretted not getting it because they can't trust you. So everyone took everyone's rep who was involved with this currently is taking a hit, getting some anger. I get it from the fans. It's a sad situation all around. I made my video and I talked to you about it because I thought it could have easily been avoided if they would have just reached out, because of someone's hubris, because of someone's pride, because of someone's pettiness. They decided, no, we don't need them. In actuality, you needed all the exposure you could get. And it just makes me mad that because of just a little bit of pride on a few of those people, that no one gets to experience LegendsCon. So, and I don't expect those people to come out and apologize to the crowd or anything else. Like, it was me. I don't want that. but you should apologize to Kyle for your bad advice that you stuck to. You stuck to your guns. But in essence, I have a deep feeling in my heart. I know nothing about this. This is speculation. I have a feeling they're going to pass the buck and blame Legends Expo, which is the stupidest thing in the world.
I mean, I don't. I'm sure those people despise me even more than the people at LegendsCon. I have no doubt about that.
Legends Expo. Let's say they're not talking to me or you or anyone else. They're even more inclusive than
100% or exclusive.
Exclusive than LegendsCon was. That's true.
It's to the point where because I called you when I saw this go down, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? And it's to the point where I'm like, man, I almost want to just go and do something at a bar or whatever, just to hang out with people that are like feeling like they're out money anyway. But I don't know who's still going to go, who's trying to get hotel refunds, even if they're out playing.
Yeah, at this point, I think from what I've heard, everyone's getting transfers, refund, trying to get their money back. If I had heard, and I think I told you this, Twin Sons is a charitable foundation group, and they work and they're giving books to kids' hospitals and kids' schools. They were doing a fundraiser in Dallas, and they timed it with LegendsCon because they were the official charity of LegendsCon. And I asked, are you still going? Are y'all still going? Because if so, I will go and we'll make a weekend out of it. We'll do something like that. And I know he canceled. He said, no, we're just going to let the local chapter hang with that now. We're not bringing everyone in. I was like, okay. And if I knew, because I liked your suggestion, but I don't know how many people are just going to want to. And I get that because, I mean, you don't want to waste that money now. Save that money on that hotel room when there's not going to be a convention.
Hey, it's one thing to spend $1,400 to see Troy Denny and Michael Stackpole and all these guys. It's another thing to see me and Matt fucking Wilkins, right? I don't think we're worth that. You know,
and that's what a few people on that board call me already, probably. But yes, yes, it's not going to be the same. And it's a shame. It's a shame because you mentioned this, I mentioned this. Even some of the fans who are coming, I would have loved to have met them.
Yes.
You say this all the time, and I 100% believe at these Geeks and Gamers conventions where y'all meet up with fans, some of the best times of your life is meeting those people who are constantly there watching you, supporting you, talking to you. And I get that. And I was going to experience that because my little niche channel is perfect for this. Are you kidding me? I would have been the rock star at this convention.
Exactly.
But the thing is, though, I would have loved to have just met everyone and just to say hello. And they want pictures with me. Dude, I want pictures with you. You know, it's just so much fun to do that kind of stuff. And like you said, you're going to one, you're going to have a meetup in Orlando Con. It's going to be a mega con. It's going to be just great. And
we got at our meetup, we got about 700 people, I think, RSVP'd for it so far.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to see a lot of people. And you know, the funniest part about this entire thing is these people think that I am just like the worst person in the fucking world, right? You want to know the truth? The people at LegendsCon who were, they didn't want this. Oh, he's awful. I don't like him. We shouldn't be on streams with him. We shouldn't promote with him, whatever. You know, the truth is 6 months ago when I knew this about you guys, while I was trying to get clarification, while I was trying to talk to you, I could have crushed your pathetic little fucking convention. I could have done one fucking live stream and I could have fucking destroyed you. All the people in here in this chat that are saying they were looking forward to it, that wanted to go, I could have fucking crushed you and destroyed you. I didn't because I wanted it to be successful, regardless of whether I was a part of it or not. I wanted fans to go there. I wanted fans to meet the authors, to talk to each other, to have that fucking experience, regardless of who's behind it, who's running the convention.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. And that's the irony, that you people are so fucking full of yourselves and don't want to associate with this or that. You're so fucking petty that you destroyed yourselves by not talking to people like me. Like you fucking destroyed yourselves.
That exclusiveness, like you said, is just, it's so detrimental to your mission. You want to get the ears and eyes out to everyone. Any venue that you can, you want to push it. You want to push it. And it's just, it's insane. It's insane, but well, I get in trouble if I say too much. But the thing is, I just, you pissed away a good thing. You could have had it. You could have had it. Everyone could have been happy, but you just wanted to constantly punch yourself in the nuts and say, don't do this. Don't do things that would make it successful. And if you go about that way, you're going to fail every time. That mentality, fail every time. And a lot of people are upset by this. A lot of people want to go, and a lot of people still didn't know. I was talking to people all weekend long who still had never heard. They were fans. They're fans of the expanded universe, and they still had never known. There are people on this channel, your channel, who love the expanded universe too, who would have loved to have gone, who didn't even know about it, who've never heard it, and would have gone. And that's the thing.
Why you needed to get these creators on board. And
do they hate all your listeners too? Is that the other thing too? What's going on?
Maybe. I guess they'd rather just be complete and total failures. I guess that's the alternate. You know, like a lot of people in this stream, Matt, have no idea what we're talking about because guess what? They didn't want me to talk about LegendsCon.
Nope.
They didn't want me to talk about it. They didn't want me to talk about the Star Wars Expanded Universe convention. And it is what it is.
I'm curious how many would have gone just to have seen you. I mean, you know, not that you're going to be that big, but the thing is, though, if I'm in the Dallas area and I hear Ryan's going to be at a convention, I'll go just to hang out.
I think, listen, I do not think that I am some massive draw or anything like that.
No, but
what I do think is when you have a convention like this with very, like, it's not going to be huge, right? It was never going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of people in all likelihood. I think that I could have guaranteed if I had had 6 months to push this thing, I think I could have got 100, 150, maybe more than that to sign up and go. To give $100 to go.
I think unlocking it and letting everyone know could have easily sold hundreds of tickets. I agree with you, not thousands. It wouldn't be in the thousands. I even said that in my video. I said it probably would have sold a couple more hundred tickets, which definitely would have made a big difference. And I mean, we won't know ever now, but it was my gut feeling that would have sold the extra tickets they needed, and we would still be going. It was 6 weeks. 6 weeks. All right, took off. I got to rescind my time off now. I don't need it anymore. I'm not doing anything now. But
yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy to take time off. It's not easy to buy $500 plane tickets to go somewhere, right? It's a commitment.
But people are telling me they made arrangements. They had this. They had hotels. They had other engagements done. Someone was getting babysitting for their kids, you know, attended to, and getting those people to take off. You know, take time off to watch their kids. Now all unplans have to be unwound. Certain people, you know, grown adults with full-time jobs, yeah, okay, we'll make it up. But there are also people with part-time jobs who just wanted to meet their favorite authors and meet their younger kids who don't have the financial stability, and they're losing out hundreds of dollars. And it's just, I mean, I understand they had to cancel because they didn't have the money. That I can understand, but it doesn't change the fact that it hurt a million, well, not a million, but hundreds of people who were going to this thing. And we'll never know what the full ticket sales were or what they needed or how much they came up short. Those numbers don't need to be revealed ever. But the thing is, there is no doubt in my mind that reaching out to bigger channels and not being so exclusive would have led to a successful conference.
Yeah. And again, I wanted this to be a success, regardless of whether they wanted, even if it was like they didn't want me there, like as a fan of what, even if they didn't want me there, period, I still would have wanted it to be successful, right? Bottom line, period. I would have wanted everybody to have a good time. But it's dumb. This is what happens. And it's really sad. It's sad at this point. It's sad to be a Star Wars Expanded Universe fan when you can't even get a little tiny convention off the ground like this. And a lot of that is because the shit that's going on with these people that don't want to talk to me or people like me, whatever. And then you have the other schism. You got two different little pathetic conventions that are going on, trying to go on and compete with each other.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. People are asking where you can find Matt's channel. I just pinned the link for Matt's channel, and that's also where every month we do a more civilized age. It's under the live stream tab. That's where you can find us.
Yeah, live stream with Ryan every month, then do reviews.
Unless it's around the holidays when you ask me, then I just fucking ignore your texts and don't even get back to you to say I'm not going to be there. That's what happened in December.
The best time, and people don't realize we've had so many I mean, like he teamed up with Eckert's Ladder. He got to team up with iTalk Studios, which is a baseball channel. That was the best one because it's me. I come up with the random ideas and say, I think this guy from iTalk wants to talk Star Wars. You're like, why?
I heard
it's
him make fun of Disney
channel.
Star Wars. I bet he'd want to talk about this.
And the thing is, not only does he say yes, but he turns out to be a fan of yours. It's just great. It's just great. But again, it just proves the point. People want to talk about this stuff, man. We all come from different stretches, from all different worlds, man. We still want to talk about it. And folks, if you don't know anything about the expanded universe, pick up some of these books. They're all on audio too. If you like the audiobook, it's a really solid story. Ryan's mentioned this several times on his channel, but it really is a solid story that does the characters justice. Are you unhappy with how the sequels went? Of course you are. You're watching Ryan. But if that's the case, then I implore you to try to read some of these books, and you'll go, wow, this feels like Star Wars. This feels like it's true to the characters that I know and love from the original movies. I guarantee you will not be displeased.
Yeah. And just if you're going to listen to audiobooks, don't do abridged. Abridged sucks.
No, never do abridged.
Not reading anything than doing an abridged audiobook because they're absolute fucking garbage. Just for the record. Like, they are.
Yeah, hey, and come on, watch a More Civilized Age on my channel, folks. It's 1 hour of Ryan trying hard not to cuss.
It really is. And there was one time where I was pretty drunk when I went on there, and I was just letting him rip, and I wasn't even thinking about it. Because I do try not to swear on Matt's channel.
That's funny. And there's no rule against it, but it more or less is a non-swearing channel. But there's no rule against it. But my favorite part is when the camera turns off and then it's back to classic Ryan, which I love.
Yeah. But Matt, hey, I know you're busy. I know you got stuff going on. There's probably a bunch of other expanded universe fans that are trying to get a hold of you and call you because of this bullshit that went down today. So I'm going to let you go and read some super chats and finish up here. But thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. See you later.
See you, man. There's Matt Wilkins. Matt's a great dude. Now that he's gone, I'll say nice things about him. Matt he's been around for a long time. And when Disney bought Star Wars, he started talking about expanding universe and what it would mean going forward and the things that they would try to do and the stuff they were ignoring when they decanonized it, all of that shit. So I've been watching him for years before I even ever thought about starting a YouTube channel myself. And then when I did start my channel, one of the first people I emailed and reached out to see if he wanted to talk about Star Wars was Matt. And even though he had a much bigger channel than mine at the time, now I dominate him, obviously, but a much bigger channel than mine at the time, he immediately was like, of course, man, let's set it up. Let's do it. And we did a great, I think that might even still be live right now. Me with no beard when I was still in the military, me and Matt talking random Star Wars Expanded Universe stuff. So go check it out. Yellow Flash says, caught up now. So basically they could have shielded on big channels like yours and let ideology get in the way. Kind of, yes. And I'll reiterate, I don't think it was the majority of people that are behind the LegendsCon team. I think it was one or two. But as we've seen over and over again, that's all it takes. And when you let one or two of these activists in there and everyone else is scared of potentially going against those activists, it becomes a problem. That's just what I've heard. And it sucks. And it sucks. Because at the end of the day, nobody, who fucking cares what one person thinks or the other person thinks? Guess what? At MegaCon, there's going to be 250,000 people that pass through the doors of MegaCon, just like there was last year. There's going to be people there that agree with me. There's going to be people there that don't. There's going to be stars there that agree with me. There's going to be stars there that don't, right? There's going to be people I'm interacting with that I agree with and people I'm interacting with that I don't, right? It doesn't matter. We're all there to fucking have fun and do it, whether that's go to a panel, whether that's go to the meetup, whether that's stand in line and wait to meet somebody you've never met, like all that shit. And it's just so stupid that a couple people like that let that get in the way. And I I am not saying I am the end all be all, that I'm all powerful, that I just would have been such a big job. It's not like I wanted to go there and appear or be on a post. Like, no, I just wanted to talk about it and promote it. And people there didn't want to talk about me, or talk about it with me, I should say. People there didn't want to talk about it with me, to the point where they banned other people from appearing on a stream or a podcast, not on my channel, just where I was present. I could have got you. I could have got you what you needed. I could have talked about this, because guess what? I was excited. I was excited. And it's one of the reasons I've been kind of mum about it for the last several months. The thing that I was, remember when I told you guys I'm waiting to hear something, I'm waiting to talk to somebody on Monday? This is what I was waiting for, because I kind of had a hunch that it might happen. But I was hoping to talk to the guy before this happened, and it didn't. So, this has nothing to do with Star Wars Explained. Almost nothing ever has to do with Star Wars Explained, just for the record. All right, let me catch up with these. I'm sorry I didn't talk about these, but we were kind of on a roll. I just wanted to get it all out because I was pissed off. Rabid one with 10 gifted memberships right off the bat, and then says, just say no to female mods. I typically don't like female mods. Yellow Flash in the chat is the exception, all right? Usually don't like female mods in here. Don't like it. Don't like it. Chad Layton for 5. They shot themselves in the foot. Nifty. They did. Stackpole reminds me of those old Ewok totem bukake. Thank you, Rabid One. OG Star Wars, what's up? Becomes a member. Default for 2. Ryan, who are you most excited to see there? Probably Troy Denning and Michael Stackpole. Those are the two. Troy Denning is probably my favorite. Like, his books are probably my favorite in the expanded universe. Specifically, Star by Star is probably my favorite book. I've got 2 hardcovers that I was going to have him sign. Michael Stackpole, the X-Wing novels, to me, are some of the most underrated and underdiscussed and underappreciated books in all of the EU. And it's probably just because they don't have the big 3, right? They don't have Luke, Han, and Leia. But they're fantastic stories in the universe. So, yeah. The whole thing pisses me off, man. And that's the thing. I do not care if, I do not care that Troy Denning is a big leftist. He is. I do not care that Michael Stackpole is a big leftist. He is. I care about their contributions to Star Wars. And I was excited to meet them to talk about Star Wars, not anything else. It's not what a Star Wars Expanded Universe convention's for. And look, we go to a lot of different conventions all over the place where some of the people there don't agree with us at all. There's no fucking problems. There's no issues. There might be 1 or 2 people that fucking bitch and moan and complain that we're there. Nobody fucking cares. Same thing with MegaCon, right? There's obviously there's going to be a bunch of people at MegaCon that don't agree with us at all in any way, shape, or form. A lot of them maybe being celebrities. A lot of them maybe being vendors, whatever. Doesn't matter. Nobody's there for that shit. We're not holding a fucking political rally. We're there to talk about fan shit. And that's the bottom line. And it's sad that LegendsCon, the people that need more help than any of these other ones, right? That LegendsCon, that some of these people were too bitch made, regardless of whether some people agreed or hated me or not. They were so bitch made that they didn't want to talk to me when I could have helped them sell tickets. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. But that's where we are. So that's all I wanted to talk about. Was the con canceled because they're still selling tickets? I don't believe they should be. So on their big website, can you hold on? Can you still buy tickets? Let's see. Store event. No, I don't think they should not be selling like on their website. It specifically, when you try to go to buy tickets, it says, "Hey, we're sorry to inform you, LegendsCon's been canceled." So I don't think so. I don't think so. And look, at this point, now that it's a fucking failure, I wish that I would have just come out 6 months ago and fucking crushed their hopes and dreams, and this would have been all over with a long time ago. Because I could have done that. I didn't want to. Wanted to be successful. I saw a lot of you guys out there that were excited for it. I saw a lot of you guys pushing. I saw a lot of you guys in the chat. Even some of the people that hate MegaCon for this reason or that reason. I saw a lot of you guys pushing LegendsCon, regardless of the fact that I knew behind the scenes there's some other stuff going on that we weren't ready to talk about yet. But here we are. LegendsCon's been canceled because people didn't want us there. Didn't want me there, I should say. But that's all right. That's the way it is. I'm sorry for all the people that are out money. That fucking sucks. Hope people are able to get refunds and hotel things. Do they do refunds? As far as I know, they do not. Now I think it says on there the tickets are non-refundable when you buy it, so I don't think there's much else you can do. It is what it is. Brandon, look at this. I'm behind on the cast, but yesterday was the first time I heard about it. Grew up down there. Was about to start getting plane tickets for Washington State and go there. Damn shame. It's weird, man. It's weird. LegendsCon canceled because of Geeks and Gamers. It has literally nothing to do with Geeks and Gamers. It has everything to do with me. And it's not why it's canceled. It's not canceled because of me. We shouldn't say that. The reason that they had to cancel is because they didn't sell enough fucking tickets. Because they were too scared to talk to some Star Wars Expanded Universe fans that had big platforms that could have sold tickets, because a handful of people involved behind the scenes don't like me. That's why. And it's not even because I like fucked them or anything. That's the wild part. That's the craziest part of the whole story. It's just because they don't like my personality or something. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, that's it. Short stream. Thanks again to Matt Wilkins for coming on. I appreciate Matt. Matt's always been really good to me. I'll always be on his channel all the time. More civilized age. Whenever I can, unless I'm traveling or something else, you guys can always find me there. We got to start convincing Matt to just do those live instead of record a live broadcast and make it public, because nobody gets fucking notifications for it. But I think his channel still is pinned there. You can see him talk about some Star Wars stuff. And once a month, you can see me talk about some Star Wars stuff. I imagine that we are going to see some more people talking about this. I've seen Star Wars Marvel Purists. I've seen United Spacers Alliance. I saw OG Star Wars. I'm sure they're going to talk about this stuff as well. And I'm sorry that that's the way it is. I also wish that they had given us a little more notice that they were going to cancel, because I would have loved to set something up where, hey, if everybody's fucking spent the money, you're going to go there anyway. Let's just go meet up at a bar, whether it's 20, 30, 50 people, whatever, and at least do something while people are going there. But at this point, I feel like it's kind of too late for that, because half the people are already they've already refunded their hotels or transferred their tickets or whatever. No, it sucks. It sucks. But, all right, guys. That's it. LegendsCon 2, RIP. And what can I tell you? Fuck around and find out when you do dumb shit like that. I don't know. But I will be seeing a lot of you guys, I assume, in the next couple days. Whether you're at MegaCon, whether you're just down here in the area, We've got a big meetup at Universal City Walk. There's going to be a lot of fucking people at Red Coconut Club. I promise I will not get as drunk as I did last time. I don't think there's any possible way that will happen. And then, you know what? About 2 months from now, we'll see everybody in Vegas too. But no LegendsCon. And honestly, these people are never coming back. They lost the trust of everybody. There's no chance. A rescheduled LegendsCon. Hey, let's do it again. LegendsCon 3. No. You guys missed out. And they missed it. Like the author, they broke the author's trust too. Like all these authors put aside this fucking weekend to come down here. And they're not coming back. So is what it is. Do I have any others? Send Ryan to FurryCon. Not going there. J for 2. They missed out. Ryan has a doctorate in Star Wars Legends. I don't know if I have a doctorate in the Star Wars Expanded Universe, but I, at the very least, have a master's degree. Okay. At the very least. All right, guys. I'll talk to everybody later. Bye, everybody. Fuck all this LegendsCon shit.